Hello Internet, welcome back to Thromsa Twilight, the channel where I, Vincent, talk to you, those who may wish to listen, about books, movies, music I enjoy, find interesting, or a combination of the two. It is New Year's Eve, you may hear fireworks in the background. By the time you watch this, it will be 2026. Happy New Year. I'm here to just reflect a little bit about my first year on YouTube and what I think about the year that's coming up. I started this channel more or less exactly a year ago. I'm a psychotherapist, a clinical psychologist who originally wanted to be a writer and a musician. Primarily a writer, but I spent some years also making a lot of music. In my early 30s, I discovered that I probably didn't have the personality type necessary to be able to succeed in those fields, so I retrained as a psychologist. And I really, really love my work. I'm probably better at it than I was at being an artist. I really love working with people. But I noticed with the years that the more dedicated I was to my clinical work and clinical theory, the less focused I was on my other passions and interests like visual art, cinema, music, literature. So I made this channel to focus on the things that always brought a lot of joy and meaning into my life, and it's been really effective. I find that having to think about these things enough to be able to verbalize them for a viewer helps me engage with these things that I love in a more intentional and passionate fashion. And I'm also always looking out for things now that might be interesting to talk about, that might be interesting to dissect, discuss, express an opinion about. So I think I seek things out in a way that I maybe stopped doing. Also, I get great recommendations through the channel. I am going to be reading Kathy Acker this year, for example, because people keep recommending her. I continued to read Dennis Cooper when I probably otherwise would have stopped because people's comments were so interesting and so intelligent about the George Miles series of books. And honestly, it's the comments that I get on this channel that probably are the reason why I'm going to continue for at least another year. People engage with my videos in such an intentional, intelligent, good-willed fashion that I really appreciate being here, and I really look forward to the engagement that I get. So if you're one of those people, thank you very much for enriching 2025, and I hope that I'll continue to see you in 26. I'd also like to talk about a new thing that I'm going to start doing. In the coming year, I'm going to talk each month about an album that was released that month in 1996. That's 30 years ago, incredibly, and I was 14 at the time. Between the ages of 12 and 14 was around the time when I kind of started to become more interested in contemporary music, things that were being released at that time. Prior to that, I had my own little musical universe. And I'm interested in going back to that time and looking at what was coming out then and talking about how we might think or feel about those albums today. So if you have a favorite album that came out in 96, please drop it in the comments and let me know so that I've got time to listen to it before that month rolls around. I'm not only doing albums I liked at the time, I'm also doing stuff I discovered later but that came out 30 years ago. So let me know if there's an album you would like me to talk about. Finally, a kind of interesting observation. My videos do between 50 and 300 views approximately, with a couple of exceptions. One was a video that I did about Hamlet, A Hail to the Thief, that like 1,000 people have watched and that got quite a lot of comments on it. I think because people really love Radiohead, I guess, and really were excited about the play. But the other video that did like super well was a video that I did about the Salt Path, and that has over 80,000 views. And like, why? I mean, that video, I spent basically no time thinking about it. I just did it off the cuff because I just thought about the Salt Path reminded me of JT Leroy and a couple of other things. But it got huge engagement basically because it was in the news at the time, but also because it makes people angry. A lot of people were very angry about it. And this is just really super instructive to me, you know, that all of the enthusiasm we might have for art, music, literature, all of the things that enrich our lives and make them more interesting, just pale in comparison to the rage driven algorithmic monster that is the internet. I say all that to say, you know, I'm very grateful that people watched that video and I got a lot of really interesting comments, but it's just kind of, it's not surprising, but it's a little bit depressing that that if I wanted to make this channel successful, all I would have to do is continue to find scandalous material to talk about, which I'm not interested in doing because I'm not really interested in growing the channel. I'm more interested in the very meaningful and pleasant experience that it's been so far. And if you're one of the people who's been watching this channel, thank you for that, and do let me know if there's anything you would like me to talk about in the year coming up. I guess that's it for now. Please let me know if there's anything you're excited about in the new year, any music or books or films that you're looking forward to. I'm going to be going to the Trump's Film Festival in a couple of weeks. I'm super looking forward to that. I'll come back and let you know about some of the movies that I saw at the festival. Once again, Happy New Year, and I'll see you all soon.